I started this great written LinkedIn post yesterday that somehow I didn't save. So I'm coming to you via video instead, hoping that I can get this done without any huge errors. I wanted to talk today about an incredible learning that I've had over the past couple of weeks, and I want to call it Daring to Dream. And it comes from a conversation that I and my Alexel colleagues had the amazing good fortune to have with Dr. Richard Boyatzis out of Case Western Reserve. Dr. Boyatzis has come and spent time with us, not once but twice in the past year. We are so lucky to just have him come as a colleague and share with us the research that he and his colleagues are doing, particularly on functional MRI studies of the brain, and his intentional change theory. So I won't go into too much detail about his theory on this right at this moment, but I will provide some links in the post so you can check those out yourself. But what he and his colleagues have discovered through their research for decades is that when people spend time dreaming, particularly thinking about their ideal self, the creative and innovative and kind of bigger picture centers of the brain get activated more strongly than other parts of the brain. The functional MRI research shows a lot of brain activity in the parietal frontal lobe where that is engaged. And as we move toward problem solving and goal setting, the brain activity moves towards centers of the brain that are more associated with fight-flight response. So I'm hoping I got all that right. Dr. Boyatzis, please feel free to correct me if you happen to take a look at this video. But the way he explained it, and I really resonated with, is that it's like when people have the opportunity to think about their ideal self, it's like a 180-degree view of the world. It's like all the opportunities that are available are visible. And as we inevitably start to narrow into problem solving and goal setting, and especially in coaching, we do that, the view narrows. It's inevitable. We need to do that. But if we start there, we're missing, as coaches and as leaders, we're missing the opportunity to see more broadly. And those capabilities go well beyond the individual, right? As leaders, it provides you with an opportunity to be more open to other ideas, to potentially seek out more innovative solutions, to think more strategically, which of course has benefit for your team and for your organization. So Richard was advising us in the Alexel group as coaches to spend 50% of any coaching session in this ideal state, in the dreaming state with our clients, because that is a place where we are getting into brain activity that has significant value for the individual and the organization, and then move to goal setting. And realistically, most of us do the opposite. If we do the big picture stuff at all, it's not at the beginning, where we're often focused very much on goal setting and making sure that we have trackable data that the leader can deliver on. So one of the reasons I love this so much is that it resonates with the work that I've been doing in the Endurance Leader book, and the first part of the book where I talk about anchoring your mindset, and I specifically talk about discerning your mission. Now, I use the term mission. Dr. Boyatzis and his team are obviously talking about ideal self, and certainly there are differences there, but on some plane, we're talking about the same thing, which is I'm asking leaders to think about, what are you uniquely on the planet to do? What won't get done in this world, in this lifetime, if you're not the one to do it? Or for some people, I take the approach of what I call hugging the headstone, and I'll talk about that more in a post next week. But what do you want said about you at the end of your life? Or what do you want written on your headstone? And when we spend time, I hear from leaders, first of all, I see in them an excitement and an enthusiasm and a passion that often can get lost when we're just focused on these goals. And what we then move toward, and is later in the book, is translating that person, that ideal person, into the person that's showing up every single day. And we try to figure out ways to bring that person in, which leads to higher levels of intrinsic motivation, tends to create greater satisfaction, greater engagement, less burnout, greater productivity, etc. So, coaches, I encourage you to read Dr. Boyatzis and colleagues' work and think about how you are working with your clients, and are you spending time daring to dream with them? And leaders, I really encourage you to work with your coach, or work with a boss, or work with a colleague, to spend some time in that 180-degree view. Look at the ideal self, who you really want to be, who is the best version of you, what do you want said about you at the end of your life. I can guarantee it's going to help you be more creative, more innovative, more thoughtful, more intrinsically motivated, and more productive. Thanks.